or that perfect crypto gift this holiday, or even a read for yourself, if you're into a good Scroogey story surrounding Bitcoin this Christmas season, this one might be for you. The Scrooge of Bitcoin is a humorous send-up on the original Scrooge story, but involving a sinister banker who wants to destroy the cryptocurrency. The story is available on Amazon as a Kindle download. A link is available in the description below, so pour yourself an eggnog and enjoy this crypto Christmas tale.
I started out hardcore spinning on.
Yeah, it's your boy Crypto Blood, and welcome to another episode of My Two Satoshis. It is December 24th, 2019. Shout out to my man Spoon Power 23 out there on YouTube for the song request today. Pace One and Mr. Green, Children Sing. Never heard this one. This is nice, man. I love, man. Some of you guys just don't know. You guys put me up on a lot of new hip hop. No lies. So I appreciate that one, Spoon Power. Definitely gonna have to rock out to this one later on as well. So welcome to another episode, ladies and gents. Hope you guys are doing well on this Christmas Eve. For those who celebrate, I know my daughter is very excited about tonight, waking up tomorrow to new presents. I'm personally excited because I get a chance on Christmas to really sit down with the family, kick it with them. Of course, I'm gonna talk about crypto. Of course, I'm gonna talk about politics. We get it in our family. There's no holds bar over in my family, so it's all going down tomorrow. So I hope you guys enjoy it if you do celebrate, and if not, enjoy the day off if you're able to do that. But today we're going to be looking at something was interesting. It caught my eye because I know my buddy Phil from Kennedy Financial, he's real big on this stock flow, this Bitcoin stock to flow model. Well, we had someone out of Bloomberg really tear it to shreds. I haven't looked at this article, but we're going to look at it together. I'm curious to see what they have to say. I don't follow this Bitcoin stock to flow model. We'll go over it if you never heard of it, give you a little explanation of it, but we'll see what this Bloomberg analyst says about it. I know Trace Mayer is a big fan of it, so we'll have to see what this article says about it here. And also, out of Trust Knows, we've got Ethereum devs very upset. I told you guys, I think last week, that Ethereum is doing another hard fork. This is the second hard fork in the past 2 weeks. They forgot to include the difficulty bomb upgrade, or to push that out on the past upgrade. So they have to do that. If not, the whole network will screech to a halt. But some people are very upset about the timing. They're looking to do this on New Year's. Some people are royally pissed about that. I don't blame them, because you got to kind of be around and be on standby for these hard forks. So, I don't know, man. We'll look at this and I'll get your two Satoshis on it. And then lastly, out of Crypto Daily, 2020 Bitcoin Massacre, how quantum computing threatens cryptocurrencies and what quantum resistant ledgers do that most others don't. And again, this is something I've covered many months ago when we found out Google had announced their quantum supremacy. And I've been watching the whole quantum development over the last few years anyhow. And I think now this is really time to have this conversation, a serious conversation about quantum computing. I actually have someone huge, very influential in the crypto space coming on the show very soon. I'm going to really pin this question to him because he's a very smart individual. So I know he'll have some insight, and he's mentioned and talked about this in the past as well, but definitely want to ask him again. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens with that, people. It's a touchy subject, and I think most cryptocurrency projects, I think we're still at a point where we're small enough to pivot if we need to do a hard fork. And even with Bitcoin, I'm thinking that that's possible. We could still do a major upgrade, a major patch that addresses this quantum computing issue. So we'll look at this article here out of Crypto Daily in a second. But before we start, if you guys find these types of videos informative, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and click that bell to receive more videos like this. And one other announcement before we get started, the join button is now available on the Crypto Blood channel, the CB News Network YouTube channel. You can join. There are many perks for you joining, so you guys should check that out. Just click the join button and get the details on that. It'll break it all down. There are 4 different membership levels, really 3. The last one is really for traders only, but there are 3 that I think pertain to most of my viewers. So check them out. You really may be interested in that. I'll leave a link in the description below so you can check that out. Also, get over to dewdex.com to check out their crypto exchange. They have a leveraged crypto exchange similar to BitMEX, but a lot more personable. They have 24-hour support. They're growing. The liquidity pool is growing every day. So check it out. If you do join, you have the ability to possibly have an additional $70, up to $70, I should say, in trading bonuses. So dewdex.com. That's DUEDEX.com. Check them out. So let's take a look at this Bitcoin stock to flow model being criticized by a Bloomberg analyst. It says that as Bitcoin price heads down, Bloomberg's Joe Weisenthal is out to destroy the cryptocurrency's most important bullish indicator. Bloomberg Markets editor bashes the Bitcoin stock to flow model for allegedly mispredicting the cryptocurrency's price. A price forecasting model that predicts Bitcoin at $100,000 valuation by Christmas of 2021 is complete nonsense, according to Joe Weisenthal, the Bloomberg Markets editor. Questioned the much celebrated stock to flow model for measuring an asset's future pricing on the basis of its supply rate. He explained that people would naturally bid up Bitcoin's price should they decide to buy the cryptocurrency, adding that there is no need for more coins at all. Weisenthal tweeted, "Let's suppose society wanted to hold a lot more Bitcoin, maybe 268 billion. All people need to do is bid up the price of Bitcoin until it doubles. Then voila, society's desire to hold $268 billion of Bitcoin would be satisfied. The math is simple. The society holds what it wants. So Bitcoin is not a base asset to measure global portfolios. The US dollar is. So it is more likely for investors to denominate their cryptocurrency holdings in dollar." Mr. Weisenthal said the price of Bitcoin would rise only because people wanted to weigh more of the global portfolio to it. For instance, the market prices gold based on its relationship with the dollar. An investor who wants to migrate a portion of its gold portfolio to Bitcoin does it within the context of its overall investment portfolio. The number of Bitcoin he buys does not matter to him. He said ultimately, if the price of Bitcoin in aggregate goes up, it will be because people want to weigh more of the global portfolio to it. The existence of fewer coins being generated in the future has no bearing on that collective choice. And he goes on to say, if you believe anyway that there's some mathematical relationship between supply of new coins and the price of the coins, then you have to explain how the supply of new coins changes people's preference to hold Bitcoin within the global market portfolio. So essentially, he's saying that Bitcoin scarcity does not equal more value. Unlike Mr. Weisenthal, the S2F model believers tend to compare Bitcoin with non-consumable commodity assets like gold and silver. One economist wrote in his book, The Bitcoin Standard, that a low rate of supply for gold is the fundamental reason why it has maintained its monetary role throughout human history. Amos also adds that Bitcoin's production rate would become lesser than that of gold by 2022. The core argument then falls on whether or not Bitcoin behaves like a scarce, non-consumable commodity. Famous gold bull Peter Schiff thinks it does not. Excerpts from his May 2019 blog post: "Scarcity is not enough. There must also be a real value. There is also an infinite supply of cryptocurrencies, so they are not really scarce at all." And so I'm just going to stop right there, and that's the whole misconception that we need to break down and squash right now. If you say that, use that logic that Peter Schiff is using in that quote, that there are thousands of other cryptocurrencies. Sure, but there are thousands of other fiat currencies, maybe not thousands, but hundreds of other fiat currencies. There are many other types of commodities. There isn't just gold. There's silver, there's platinum, whatever. There are many different commodities out there. So using that doesn't make sense to use that analogy. Again, I think he's just ignorantly saying these types of things just to try to prove his point and add validity to his argument. But there isn't. I've watched literally Peter Schiff since 2013 say that Bitcoin was going to zero. Now, whether or not Bitcoin does go to zero in the future, I don't know. I can't firmly say it won't, and no one can. Anyone telling you that, they're lying. They want you to be confident in buying it so that their bag goes up. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that he has cost opportunity costs. He has cost his subscribers, his members, an investment of a lifetime. It's not a bubble, because a bubble would have burst once and that would have been it. This thing has continually headed higher. So we know it's not a bubble. It's had multiple bubbles. So it's not like a tulip. We can't compare this to a tulip bubble, right? This is a new form of money. This is a new form of an asset. This is a whole new asset class. So we're still in the price discovery phase with Bitcoin. But I say all that to say he has cost his members an investment of their lifetime so far up to this point. Still could be a chance that you make a decent amount of money investing in Bitcoin right now. I don't know. No one knows. But I'm just saying he can't talk. If his investors would have purchased Bitcoin when he found out about it in 2011 or 12 or something like that. Crazy. It was like $3 a coin. So for him to continually over the years, it's been a decade now, it doesn't matter if he's going to be right eventually. The opportunity cost there is so huge that it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter if he's right in 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Same with the stock market. He's lost opportunity costs with his clients, telling him that the stock market is going to crash. The stock market is going to crash. Eventually, a dead clock is right twice a day. So eventually he will be right on the stock market. And maybe eventually he'll be right on Bitcoin. I don't know. But what I do know is that he's lost himself. That's a question mark there. Himself and his investors, his members, a lot of money. Game-changing money. So I don't know, man. It goes on to say something about Alex Kruger. We're not even going to read that idiot. He is something that I just can't stand. So what do you guys think about this stock to flow? Because at this point, the stock to flow has been about 99% accurate up to this date when it comes to predicting Bitcoin's price. I'll leave this article in the section below and you guys take a look at it for yourselves. Though the stock to flow does say that we should see 10,000 by the end of this year. That's not going to happen. I can confidently tell you that it will not be happening with a few days left in the year. So, I don't know, people. You guys let me know. Just because something was 100% or very close to 100% accurate in the past does not mean it will be in the future. That's the beauty of investing. Past results are not indicative of future returns. So let's see what happens with that. The second article, though, is about this real issue that we're going to be facing or we're going to have to face here in the near future when it comes to quantum computing and, Google's quantum supremacy just announced a few months ago. This is a very serious thing we need to look at. And this article poses that question. Is it a massacre for Bitcoin in 2020? And what can we learn from ledgers that are quantum resistant? There are a few of them, and they've been out for a while. Actually, I remember hearing about some quantum resistant ledgers back in 2016, I believe. So there were some people that were thinking well ahead of situation, and it's actually something that the community knew about. We knew that this was an issue that we would need to address at some point, and they actually built Bitcoin's core in a way to be updated and implement a quantum resistant type of upgrade. So the article here from Crypto Daily says in December of 2019, NIST, which is the National Institute of Standards and Technology, published its draft findings on post-quantum signatures. Post-quantum signatures refer to cryptographic algorithms, which are usually public key algorithms that are currently seen as secure against a potential quantum computer attack, something that has yet to happen. But NIST's comprehensive study highlighted the importance of ensuring encryption is not broken in the future as a result of quantum computing advancement, potentially reaping havoc on the industries that rely on it the most to drive business. In an effort to properly safeguard hash-based cryptography from this potential society-shaking technology, NIST details one of the most important tools for doing so, the use of XMSS, which is Extended Merkle Signature Schemes for future encryption. So XMSS, being a quantum resistant signature scheme by design, makes it powerful in the cryptocurrency space, since many cryptocurrencies were coded before the consideration of quantum computing breakthroughs. It is quite possible that their ledger's algorithm could be cracked and immediately devalued as holders dump the susceptible asset. Without future changes to the code and with enough time and focus, this will be an inevitability. There are some cryptos, however, which have taken moves to ensure safeguards are in place the day that quantum computers are directed towards specific cryptocurrencies. One crypto stands out in the new era of quantum resistance as the only coin to use XMSS by design. That's QRL. Quantum resistant ledger has been using XMSS in the post-quantum mainnet since June 26th of 2018. So that's one of them. I've again heard of other ones that have basically taken the ECDSA and modified it in a way to make it quantum resistant. It goes on to say here that most cryptocurrencies use the elliptical curve digital signature algorithm. That algorithm's historical advantage has been enabling individuals who are encrypting data on the sending side to not require the key that is used to decrypt the data on the receiving side. This has been the basis of sending and receiving cryptocurrencies on a trustless basis and is the entire basis of public keys used in your crypto wallets. Quantum computing threatens the viability of this and the public key infrastructure as a whole, potentially putting entire industries out of business if they don't look to shift quickly into quantum resistant models. The code base developed by QRL has been written entirely from scratch in the Python coding language. Most other cryptocurrencies have simply forked or flat out copied the design of other cryptocurrencies, creating a difficult roadmap to quantum resistance and a high likelihood of bugs along the way. Further, QRL is the first to confirm to the NIST guidelines and continues to build on top of their quantum resistant code. So have you guys looked into QRL? I haven't. Again, there are a few out there. It's just not QRL, but I guess QRL is the only one using this XMSS signature scheme. But let me know your thoughts about that. Let me know also in the comments below what other cryptocurrency ledgers are quantum resistant that you know of. I would love to know and take a look at those as well. Last article, anger grows at Ethereum hard fork timing. So this one person said, who the F decided to do a hard fork on a day that is almost a universal holiday? So says a developer at Aragon, a dApp for decentralized autonomous organizations running on Ethereum's blockchain, is in a set of public statements citing Ethereum's foundation's announcement that the difficulty bomb delaying hard fork is expected on January 1st. He said, picking cool days is great when you are a core dev, but now someone from my team has to work on a day that they were free. This controversial fork, which changed the protocol rules in a way that technically increases issuance without any public consultation, despite 70% of Ethereans wanting an issuance reduction to 1 ETH, was at one point expected on Christmas Day itself. But George says, I'm trying hard not to be negative about Ethereum lately, but who the F decided to do a hard fork on a day that is an almost universal holiday? Picking cool days is great when you are a core dev, but now someone from my team has to work on a day that they were free. I'm quite active in the community, he says, although unfortunately I no longer have time to listen in on all the core dev calls, and I became aware of the fork date today. I knew it was coming, but no idea of the date. My team had no idea either. Forking during holidays is a bad idea anyway. Last year, when issuance was to be reduced, they took the whole of December off because of Christmas. Now that the protocol is reducing issuance, they apparently thought it is incredibly important to stop this reduction to the point they did not even consider what estimates are or what buffers are, especially as they were setting a block number instead of a time. Thus, they thought it fit to set it close to a New Year's Day, that it may well end up being on New Year's Day, sacred to many, instead of leaving some room. So George goes on to say, I'm not upgrading on January 1st, even though I'm pretty sure we'll be fine. He said, I'm not a hobbyist. I run a company. We will be diverting traffic to infra during the fork. You realize how much of a FU this is for people who have to run nodes for their business, right? So he's just going in. I mean, I understand. What do you guys think? Should they have had more consideration for what's going on with people during the holidays? I don't know, man. I mean, at the same time, this is something that has to be done, because if they mess this up, it could ruin the whole Ethereum project. It could lock up everything, and that's no good. That's billions of dollars just going down the drain. So you guys let me know your 2 Satoshis on this subject. I would definitely want to hear that from you. I think they should have just waited at least a week after. That wouldn't have hurt anything, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion, or my 2 Satoshis. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. And shout out to my man Spoon Power 23 for the song request. Pace One and Mr. Green, Children Sing. If you found this video informative, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. And click that bell to receive more videos like this. I'm out of here, people. Holla! Yeah!